everyone, and welcome back to our first Anteam lore video of the year. I'm really excited to finally dive back into Anteam's lore with their new comeback, Go In Blind. If you're new here, hi, my name is B, and I make lore and theory videos, blah blah blah. If you're new here, hi, I make lore and theory videos here on YouTube, usually for Anteam and Enhypen, and more recently Isolated. And today we're going to be watching, analyzing, and going over the Anteam concept clip for Go In Blind. Now, this concept clip came out at about 6 a.m. my time, and if you don't know, I worked 10.5 hours from 4:30 to 3, and I had to wait 9 hours to finally watch it. So we are here, we're about to watch it. I've successfully dodged most spoilers, except one spoiler. That's all I know. I've only seen like a photo of it, and I've just seen like the word scrolling down at like when I was scrolling down on Twitter. Anytime I see anything Anteam related, I scroll on by during my downtime at work. So everything else I've mostly dodged, have no idea what's going on, except obviously I've seen the concept photos, so I'm assuming it's related to that. Either way, I'm really excited to go ahead and analyze this, so let's get started. Choo-choo! Okay. Oh! It's so eerie! Oh, I love this! Wait, this sounds familiar. I'm gonna have to move my mic in a bit because it's a bit in the way. Why is my heart racing so much? This has to be the missile, right? Look at the camera, look at the camera. Ah! Okay, it's really good. My brain is doing things. And so it's like literally already replaying in my head. Real quick, I'm going to adjust this because the mic is right here for me and I want to fully invest in this, so I'm gonna move it this way. So give me one moment. It's eerie and it's a little scary. I don't like the placement. One more time, a readjustment. Okay, so the mic is over here. You can kind of see it a little bit. It's okay. We're doing what we need to do to be able to have good quality sound and video. So this is really good. My heart is still racing, honestly, and I've got a lot of thoughts. The first thing it's the reason why I feel so what's the word, speechless, is because I'm trying, my brain is trying so hard to figure out where I know the sound from, because there's a sound that they're using. It could be like related to Anteam or some other sound that I've heard within K-pop or Enhypen or something, but I can't tell. So I'm gonna analyze it, but let me see if I can pinpoint where it comes from. So I'll show you. Right there, so starting here. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. It could just be like a regular tune that you might hear like ringing. I don't think it's like the doorbell one, because that one's okay. If anyone, I'm obviously gonna look this up afterwards. Unfortunately I can't like stop my phone, because my phone is what I use to record, to try and like do the, what do you call it, the thingy to try and record your sound to find the tune. I can't do that right now because I'm recording. So I might do this after and see. There's like a phone. No, because it sounds different, right? Like there's like a phone, scary movie with the phone. And it's like, I don't remember the name of it, but they had a scary ringtone in it. And I think it kind of is reminiscent of that to me, maybe. But I'll have to look it up. So if anyone wants to help me try and pinpoint where the sound is from, because it sounds really familiar and it's super eerie. Like this entire concept clip is a little spooky, and there's a lot happening, and so we're gonna take some time. 2-minute clip, as you know, is gonna be a lot longer through this analysis. So welcome back to the comeback era. I love when they do this. So we're starting off with Euijoo. It's gonna bug me so much that I can't. And then it's glass, right? We've talked about glass before. He's looking through broken glass. Here. It could be glass. It looks like glass. It could be something else. It could be the security camera of what's watching him. And it falls. So maybe he broke it. And then there's these frames here. Spooky! Let's real quick, I don't know if they'll let me record as is. Slow this down, but we're gonna try. 0.25, see if that's enough. We're going to look at these frames. Sound off for that. So there's an I, wolf. It's still going so fast. That almost reminds me of the thing that they climbed on in Gray City, the Gray City trailer. Wolf. It's eyes, but it looks like two figures here, both hooded. It'll be when it comes to like looking frame by frame, I usually do that after the analysis that I do, because I have a much easier time. Like I can put it in the video editor I use and just go like literally frame by frame. Here it's harder because it's YouTube, but yeah, this looks like two figures. And then we have the darkness, the hill here. They're all looking up. With the missile, sorry, I'm seeing, I don't know why this makes me think of I think it's the light shining that's making me think of the moon. It looks like it's going past the moon. So we'll take a look. Does anyone remember Samidare in the concept trailer clip where at the very end of it, Maki did the same turnaround thing where he looked at us? And I think it was after we went, like, not necessarily, it looks like, I think, was it a reverse in time? This was forward in time, and the train went by, and then Maki, like, turned around. And this is exactly what that reminds me of. And is it right after this that, no, I don't think it's right after this. Harua does, like, the time thing. Okay, guys, we're about to enter like super theoretical stuff here. So be ready for your mind to go all over the place like mine is. Okay, so he's writing, is he drawing out the blueprints himself? Writing out the plans. And here's the clock. It's always Harua. It's always Harua with the clock. If you watch my videos, Harua is always a suspicious one. As soon as I saw the concept photos for Harua, I was like, not again, Harua! Because our theory is that he's a time traveler and stuff, and it's been like that since day one. He's always isolated from the group or isolated in time. But here, and I remember in in First Halloween, there was an orb that he had, and there was this theory of just him kind of like looking through time. There were aspects of it that made me at least feel like he kind of mirrored the cat, because of the heterochromia he had in the Thirst version, and then the orb that he had in the Bloom version. Anyways. But here, it's like he's watching time, right? Like he's waiting for something to happen. But then this part here, the sound, right? It's like when your brain or your mind is somewhere else and you're going through this other universe or this other time, like something is happening. So it feels like he is going through something there as something is happening with his time. Okay. Oh my god, Kay's photos. They're so good. I love Taki and Kay here side by side. It looks really cool. There is a quick... Is it just their images going by very quickly? Taki. Okay. This part is so like, I don't know if I'd say Silent Hill, but like the eerie parts, right, are like a 90s scary horror film kind of vibes, and this is part of it. But okay, let's watch. Okay. I think someone was saying, oh, are they going against vampires because of all the weapons that they had? And I had said something along the lines of, no, they're going against werewolves because of the silver. Because all of their weapons, or whatever they have, is silver. However, for Euijoo, he holds on to this weapon, and in one hand, he holds on to the handle. I don't remember there's a proper name for that, but I can't think of it at the moment. Of his fencing thing. I can't remember the saber. I don't remember what you call it. He has the handle for it. I know there are proper words, but right now, my 4 a.m. morning, been awake for 10 and a half hours to 11 hours, brain is not working very well, but he's holding on to it, and it's not like it's made of like rubber or some other material, but he like bends the sword. It's not a sword. I'm sorry. I know I'm not using the proper term for it. I can't remember what it's called at the moment. I hate that I'm calling it a sword. But he's bending it, And I was like, well, why is he touching the silver part? And I know that they all kind of technically touched the silver, but that part, it felt more like he was putting himself in that, like, danger of, like, touching it. And that's kind of what I'm seeing here. Like, as soon as he's touching it here, I'm thinking trigger warning. It almost looks like he's trigger warning cutting himself, I guess you can say, right? Or hurting himself with the silver, but I don't think that's necessarily, well, I don't know. He's admiring it. It's interesting. Oh, this part. Why is it in black and white? It's the only one that is, right? I know Euijoo was the one who got the ticket to Yarasa, technically. Yuma and Fuma? Yeah, Yuma and Fuma. I love this here. It's so cool. Ah, so good! And the howling. So this is the part where he is holding it. So see, he's holding onto the silver too, although this part's the rubber, but it's not the part that's technically supposed to harm you, so I don't quite know. I feel like the blade is more obvious because the blade is supposed to hurt you, whereas with this, like, I think they're okay to touch silver, they just can't get shot by silver, right? Wait, hun. Who? Yeah, so here the missile, the wolf missile, is going past the moon. This is the photo. This is the photo I saw. I swear, the way it sounded, I thought it was going to end here. Interesting. Ugh. Whoa, so good. Water? No, not water. Wait. What's this? Smoke? Ash? The sound of fire burning? Oh, this is so good! And he, okay, so he's the one who has the flare gun, or the flare stick, I guess, because technically it's not a gun. And when you have that, you use it because you're calling for help. Like, hey, I'm over here, right? Like, you're trying to, like, call for someone. It's so good. Oh, there's a lot that we can talk about. Yeah, so the flare gun part with Maki kind of reminds me of, like, when you call for help, right? Using a flare gun or a flare stick. He's carrying it like a torch, like it's on fire like a torch more than it is like a flare gun, or flare stick. But at the same time, it could be the sense of, like, calling others or, like, lighting the way. I was also, who was it? In the photos, but also, of course, here as well. The way that the way that the walkie-talkie he has is designed makes it almost look like they've put it together in a way where they're trying to expand the reach that they have with the walkie-talkie. So that way, if they need to call or communicate with someone, it goes out further than its original intended, range, I guess you can say. So I was already kind of thinking that with Yuma, and kind of seeing Maki in this way as well kind of makes me think of that too. I don't... There's a few things that we can think of with the missile. Because when you look at the photos as well, like the little aim thing, the what do you call it, the target, the glass to aim at stuff. I'm not good at words, but that's also like shaped like a werewolf teeth or fangs, and it makes it seem like you're almost like aiming a werewolf or aiming. Yeah, what else would you call it other than aiming a werewolf at whatever your target is, right? I'm curious. There's no, like, werewolf virus or anything. That's not a thing in the lore yet. So it can't be anything like that. I think the best or the closest thing that we can say for it is just kind of in connection to their, like, story, right? Like, their actual Antime real life story of going in blind or going blind is like Antime is a global group who don't really have like one specific label. They're not just K-pop or they're not just J-pop. You know, they kind of sit in the middle in between both, and there's not very many groups that do that. And because of that, neither communities really claim Antime, right? So they're going in blind because they're following this path that not many have gone down before, and it's hard to, they're having to like make these connections and do these things almost not exactly from scratch, but almost like from scratch, because they have to like they don't know what's ahead of them because the path hasn't really been walked down as much before. And so that concept of going in blind, they're part of like what they've talked about since Under the Skin is like reaching their howl, reaching people, right? Like their voice reaching, you know, outside of the 23 wards of Tokyo, right? And so like this missile that they're shooting here, going right past the moon, which in our perspective as Lune is us, we're watching like this werewolf as it's launching into the world, right? That world representing maybe like Antime's howl or or them themselves like going into the world. Ideally is what it means, right? So it could be that. So it's more connected to thematically to like their actual story than any sort of like lore. I don't quite know exactly what it would mean within the lore of the Antime, so maybe I can think of a couple of things, but I won't talk on it too much because I don't know exactly what direction that would go. The ones who are suspicious here, obviously, Euijoo, Maki, and Harua. And then there's Taki. There's some aspects of him that kind of remind me of some other stuff as well. Euijoo here. Oh, that's so interesting. I love his look. They really utilized his eyes here. So, almost as if it breaks. The camera that's watching him, maybe like the Witch of Yedasa, whoever was watching him, he stops it. The camera breaks and it's not watching him anymore. It can't observe him. So he leaves. Not leaves, but... So yeah, it looks like two figures. And there's something there in the middle, but I can't tell what it is. This part reminds me of Samidare. And in Samidare, it's Harua who is narrating, and the narration talks about your connection with someone and misunderstandings and stuff. I've got a lot of theories. I'll wait until the end because they're a bit complex, and some of you might have to watch my Harua content to know exactly where I'm going to be going with it. This 2-minute video is turning out to be so long! There's just so much to analyze! like the sound is like when you're trying to shake off the feeling of something wrong that's happening, or something that's happening that you're trying to like wake up from. Oh, and they also have, not K, but some of the members have the symbol, like an Ankh, is that how you say it, symbol? And the specific one that they had, like a vampiric specific symbol. So I personally don't think that they're necessarily fighting vampires. Like, that's not what it means, I don't think, especially because they're wearing it. But it does show that there might be a connection to vampires. Taki here in first Howling Lee and a couple of others. I think there was a theory because he had like a camera and it seems like he was like kind of like observing or watching out for something, like that continued in other things. I'll have to look into it, but that's kind of what that reminds me of. I don't think he's writing out there. If you look at their concept photos, there's like words on the floor, but I don't think what he's writing is those words. I think it's the drawing that's on the ground behind them when they're in that, like, whenever they're pulling the camera with the chains. This part is more connected to the Witch of Yerasa thing than anything else. It does, like, it feels like it's going to be horror concept, which would be so cool. I would love it if it's horror. Like, please, for the love of God, give me horror. And if we're going with the witch into the story, that could be what we get. I know there's a lot of like theories of it, but I also strongly feel like with what we've seen in the background music that we might also get some like eerie elements of it as well. Of course, this is just a concept clip. This isn't the actual music videos, and music video always differs a little bit from whatever the concept clip is. However, when it comes to the singles that they did last year, a lot of them still connected pretty well to the music videos. Like the concept clips and the music videos still connected pretty well. It's like he's somewhere else. Nicholas is looking for him. And when he points... Rapier! Is that what he called it? A rapier? Sorry. I think it came back to me. When he points it, it goes in the... It goes in the direction of Nicholas. And there's a lot of theories I have. And it's kind of hard because everything that is making me have these theories is all kind of scattered in terms of like content and why I have them. I don't know. In some of my previous videos, starting from Firework, I talked about the idea of some of the members being kidnapped and such, being mind controlled, right? Which we've seen in Grey City, kind of showing that they go against each other. And there's still elements here that makes it seem like that might be the case. For like this image, for example, like yes, it's Yuma and Fuma, like, you know, next to each other, but it also makes it look like they're facing against each other almost, not entirely. Then the other one would be bearing its fangs above, but okay, is the only one, him and Maki are the only ones looking straight. And Harua, we only see one time. Joe we see again. Interesting. Okay, I've got a lot of thoughts. Gotta let my gears grind. But yeah. This kind of makes me think of Kogawari with like the burning stuff as well, which wasn't really a lore video, but I love when he looks to the camera. And he looks up. And here, even though he's at the top of the hill with the boys, right? It looks like he's looking up at him and the others. Like he's watching a version of himself. Oh, here we have gray, black and white again. And he's turning his back on it. Could theory, my outstretched out far out, like probably not anything theory, but like could it be that the Maki that we see here watches as this other version of himself lights the way or leads the others, but this version of Maki turns his back on them, or whatever is happening here. And then we have, again, Harua, who is connected to time with the clock. I hate that garbage truck. I hate it. I hate it! With Harua and the, like, clock, and the idea of him going back in time or being a time traveler. The one who narrated Samidare, where at the very end of it, something seemed like there was something with Maki as well, where he turns towards the camera or turns his back. Like, could it be that they're trying to save this Maki who turned his back on them? I don't know. There's a lot that could be theorized from this, for sure. I think it's interesting we have here, like, Maki is kind of leading the way, and maybe it could be because Maki, in their lore, in their webtoon, him and his brother, which is Yuma's character, they come from Wolfsbane, which is a kingdom that used to protect the Kingdom of Vargr, I believe. Like, they're a kingdom that worked together with the Kingdom of Vargr. Or, was it a kingdom? A tribe? Either way, they worked together with the Kingdom of Vargr. I don't know as much about the web novel lore as I know about the webtoon lore, but I do know that they were important. They were knights of the kingdom, or the knights of Wolfsbane, and I have the file. I have to look into it more. But either way, it could be that whatever direction we're going in, they are going to have more of the answers and be able to kind of guide us in that direction, in terms of like Yarasa, or maybe we'll get more information about like the past of Wolfsbane and Yarasa, because we don't really know too much about it other than like a couple of things, right? So that could also be what this means, but it's really interesting. It was really good. This was really good. Let's all hope for a horror concept music video. Let's go. Yeah, this is really good. I still have so many thoughts, and I'm gonna have to continue to analyze on my own, go frame by frame, all the things. I'm really excited about it. Next, I believe I actually have in my calendar, I have everything that's happening, and the next thing is the track list, which we don't really usually react to that, so I guess I'll just see you guys in the music video stuff. But yeah, thank you for watching. I'll see you all next time, and if you want a recap on the lore prior to this next comeback, then check out the recap video on the singles of last year that I will be coming out with soon. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you all again next time. Bye!